All right, hi everybody. Welcome back to Cindy Cobos No Filters. And today we're going to spin this up a little bit because you guys have been hearing me just pick topics. But today I actually want to answer a few questions for you all. Maybe some of you are already entrepreneurs, but you want to level up. Maybe some of you guys are aspiring to get into the industry, but you have a little bit of fear. So I really wanted to do these 5 round of questions that most entrepreneurs get asked today, and how I will answer them based off my experience, based off the success level that I've been at today.
Question number one. What's one decision you made that seemed small at the time, but turned out to be pivotal in scaling?
I guess it's not that much of a small question or a small thing that I did, but early in my career, there was a lot of moving pieces, and we were expanding in a city called Palmdale, and I decided that I was going to take on that office on my own while the company was expanding everywhere else. So I decided to be now the responsible person of the lease of this office. So I feel like a lot of good pressure came my way, and I decided to pick that up. And I said, I'll be responsible for it. I'll hold it down. I'll make sure that all the payments and everything gets met. But I think that putting myself, my back up against the wall, really forced me to figure out the business. And I think that small, big decision led me to where I am today. So I took on more responsibility. Good, I call it good pressure, and I stretched my capacity, and it really helped me out. So more good pressure.
So, question number two. When everything feels heavy or uncertain, what do you remind yourself of?
The moment. So here's what I know and I've learned, that there are very emotional responses, and then there's commitment responses. And your commitment has to be bigger than the emotion. And hopefully that lands with you all, because it needs to make sense, because my commitment is larger than my emotional feeling at that moment. So I allow my commitment to lead me versus the way that I feel. And I feel like that's really helped me get to the next level in the business. So in those moments, I say, okay, I'm not going to move based off what feels good. I'm going to do the thing that I know I have to do to get closer to where I'm going to. Don't allow your emotions to lead you. You let your commitment lead you. And as long as you do that and you can stay level headed, um, I think you can be unstoppable. Because most of the time we make the mistake of, I'm going to let the way I feel lead me. And that's not the answer. Because even biblically says your heart is wicked, and you don't want to do that. So, good question number 2. Question number 3.
So, question number three.
Okay.
A lot of times people get into entrepreneurship, and within a year, 2 years, they already think of quitting. Be honest with us. Have you ever felt like quitting? How often? And how do you handle that when you feel that moment of I want to quit?
Got it. Well, I think this one's actually, and by the way, every day in the beginning, because I think that entrepreneurship is, there's always a question of, can anybody do it? And there's always like, well, can they? And everybody has their own way of thinking and processing that. I have my own beliefs on it, but but let me go into my personal situation. So for me, whenever those moments have come, I just remember why I started to begin with. And it goes attached to question number 2, because I've always been very pretty steady and never get too up, never get too down. So I have a pretty good emotional bearing, you could say, or emotional way of responding to things. So when things get challenging, my brain goes back to, what do I need to do right now? I can't just sit here and die over this. I have to move. I have to shake. And action is life. And when you stay stuck somewhere, you just keep thinking about all the bad things. So I've just made it a point of like launching. And I know Mel Robbins actually has a book. I think it's called Launch or something, but she talks about the theory of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you launch. And I never knew that when I first got started. She didn't write the book at that time, but I just believe very much, like, when you remember why you're doing this originally, the vision is big. You know you're going to have to meet obstacles and break those obstacles, and just know that it's going to take some time to get there, and you need to be patiently aggressive with your process. What does that mean? I'm patient with the final outcome, but I'm aggressive with what I could do right now. So work on what you can now. Um, Bring on the pressure and don't allow it to crush you. Just know that it's not going to all be built in one day, and you have to have that love and grace for yourself too to get better. Don't be too easy on yourself, but don't just shut down and not do anything. You have to move. Movement is life. So that's my
So,
answer.
question number 4. What's one lesson Patrick Bet David taught you that you didn't understand back then, but it hits differently now, and now you understand why he said that?
Oh my gosh, so many lessons. What a great question. PBD, first of all, maybe one day you'll watch this channel, okay? But I've known Patrick. I've had the privilege of knowing Patrick for since I was 19 years of age, and there's a lot of lessons. But I'll tell you from the very beginning. Patrick is a man of his word. He's always been a man of his word. Whatever he said, he means what he says, and he says what he means. Okay, so one of the biggest things that Patrick has ever taught me is if you say it, you back it up, and you don't stop until you attain it. And I remember he would always say, if you tell me your dreams, just know that I'm going to keep you accountable to them. I'm not going to let you quit on them because you just shared it with me. And one of the greatest things that you could do is to tell somebody your dreams and they keep you accountable. So Patrick's always been that person. Tough love. I can go on, actually. I think I gave like three things, but Patrick, happy 47th birthday. He's a mentor, coach, a friend, family, actually, to me. Um, I'm so grateful that I met him when I met him, and now just to see him, just what they're doing is just phenomenal. So that's what I would say. I just told you three things from PVD, but from Pat, and I can go on with more. But be a person of your word. Tough love always, and if you say it, you come through. And if you tell me your dreams as a leader, as a mentor, it's gonna be me keeping you accountable.
This is question number 5.
Woo.
What do you think kills more dreams in this business? Number 1, is it fear of failure? Or do you feel like number 2 is fear of judgment?
Mm, that's good. Okay, in business, I would say number one is fear of judgment about failing. So, does that make sense? Like, okay, you go on this limb, you're like, I'm gonna try something. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Your friends and your family start finding out what you're doing, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, what if I fail? What if my family knows that I fail? What if it? And I remember when I first got started in the business, I would show up like to my Sunday family functions, and they would say, "Oh, there comes the millionaire. Oh, there she comes." And you guys, I was for sure not a millionaire. I was just getting started. I kept failing my tests in the financial industry. I'm not even a good test taker. Like, it was so many things just compounded. And so I would say fear of judgment, what people will say about you, and because of what if you do fail, and rejection, and all those things. And that comes with it too. But yeah, that's a great question. And I feel like if you can truly detach yourself from that, I think so many more people will be so much more successful. There's a phrase, I don't know who says it, I don't know what the quote, if this is the quote exactly, but um, the highest form of maturity is to be independent of what other people think about you. Um, and I think that if you can do that, you're gonna win. I don't know when, I don't know how long it'll take you because I don't know your work ethic, I don't know your vision, I don't know who's part of your tribe or who's part of your circle, but I really believe that you can win if you can learn how to deal with the initial part of what are they going to think about me, what are they going to say, what if I fail, what if I get rejected. I think you can win if you can surpass that. So man, these were good. These five were really good.
Can I ask you a bonus question?
Oh yeah,
okay.
Bonus, yes.
This is a bonus question.
Bonus,
so
extra. Okay.
So if you could teach one lesson to every new person that starts a business or starts in business,
Okay.
and they had to tattoo it on their brain, this is something that's just like super important, what would it be? You can only teach one lesson to this person.
One thing, be clear on what you really want and why you want it. I would say that.
Simple.
Why? Yeah, and I think it's very simple, but there's so much depth to it. Because I think people sometimes start businesses because they think, oh, it's fancy, it's this, I'm going to drive a Lamborghini, I'm going to live in this house. Okay. Well, yeah, that's a great aspiration, but there's so much more that needs to happen in between. So you need to know why and what. Like, why do you want that thing and what exactly do you want? And by the way, if money moves you, that's totally great. That's no problem. If purpose moves you, if family moves you, if those things move you, that's great too. But why and what? I think that's very powerful. Those two questions, which is kind of like one. Why? Like even for us, like why did I start this YouTube channel? You know, what am I looking to do? What's my purpose for this? You know, because it takes time and it takes energy and it takes intentionality, preparation. Why? Because I believe that all the experience that I've had in my entire career and where I'm in life could really help somebody quantify and grow their efforts. And I believe that people need more positive distractions around them and good people that can feed into them. And what am I trying to do? I'm trying to build a community of entrepreneurs that are looking to grow, that are looking to for positive avenues to learn from somebody that has experience, that want to share what they're thinking about, and that want to become leaders, and or they're already leaders and they just want to scale. So anyway, I think that's very important. What a great bonus question too. So anyway, guys, next Wednesday the next video will drop, but these 5 rapid questions were really cool. The video was a little bit longer than what I thought, but I think it was powerful, and hopefully you like them too. And so every other video will be doing something like this. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, and make sure you share the channel with somebody that might need this. It might be beneficial for them. Share it. Tag me on it too. I'm on IG. So thank you guys. Bye bye.